A few days before everything turned upside down, something small but important happened. Lucas, a middle-aged man working at a kindergarten, was lying on the couch pretending to nap. One of the little girls from his class, Clara, crept up quietly and kissed him on the cheek like it was a game. Lucas immediately realized that wasn't right. He sat up and, with as much patience as he could, explained to her that boys and girls are different and kisses like that should be for parents or loved ones, not teachers. Clara felt embarrassed and rejected. What should have ended there became the spark that destroyed his entire life. Hurt and angry, she decided to get back at him. She whispered to the principal later that her teacher had shown her his little thing and described it as long and stiff, like a stick. To her, it was just a childish exaggeration. To the adults around her, it sounded like something much darker. Lucas had no clue this small lie would become a storm that ripped his reputation apart. The movie begins in a quiet Danish town, where Lucas works at a nursery school. He's well-liked by the kids, who rush up to him every morning, laughing and pulling him into their games. Everyone sees him as gentle, trustworthy, and fun. Outside of school, though, Lucas carries his own struggles. He has a son, Marcus, who lives with his ex-wife. Because of a custody arrangement, Lucas only sees him on weekends, which leaves him constantly feeling lonely. One afternoon at the local supermarket, Lucas notices Clara, his best friend Theo's young daughter, waiting outside alone. She tells him she forgot how to get home. Concerned, Lucas offers to walk her back. His dog, Fanny, trots along with him. Once they reach the house, Theo scolds Clara for wandering around without telling anyone. While the two men chat, Lucas admits he misses Marcus a lot and wishes he could spend more time with him. Meanwhile, Clara is left alone, where her older brother and a friend sneakily show her an explicit video. The seed of confusion begins to grow. A short while later, Lucas happens to walk by Theo's place again and finds Clara sitting on the curb, waiting. From inside, he hears Theo and his wife bickering about who's supposed to drop her off at school. Lucas calls out and offers to take Clara himself, which Theo agrees to. At school that day, Clara slips a little heart-shaped trinket into Lucas's pocket as a secret gift. Later, while they're outside with the other children, she plants a kiss on him. Lucas is startled and immediately tells her that kisses like that are for her mom and dad, or maybe one of the boys, but not for him. His words sting Clara. To protect herself, she denies ever giving him the gift, even though her name is written on it. She storms away upset. That's when she goes to the principal, Greta, and blurts out a lie, that Lucas showed her his private parts. She even adds details, saying she hates him. Greta is shocked, but doesn't say anything right away to Clara's mother, Agnes, who soon arrives to pick her up. At the same time, Lucas's own life feels like it's turning in a good direction. His ex tells him Marcus wants to come live with him, news that makes him ecstatic. He celebrates with his colleague, Nadia, over coffee. She admits she's fond of him, and Lucas admits he liked her too. Things seem hopeful, at least for that moment. The next day, Lucas goes hunting with his buddies and later spends the evening drinking at a friend's place. He ends up driving Theo, who's drunk, home. Theo calls him his best friend and kisses him on the cheek in a brotherly way. Lucas returns home to find Agnes waiting. He lets her in, introduces her to his dog, and she ends up spending the night. For a moment, Lucas feels normal, happy, like life is finally stabilizing. But the following morning at the nursery, things shift dramatically. Greta calls Lucas into her office and tells him a child has accused him of exposing himself. Stunned, Lucas asks who it was, but she refuses to say. She asks him to take a few days off while she looks into it, trying to reassure him she's not rushing to judgment. Soon after, a child psychologist named Ole is brought in to speak with Clara. At first, she stays quiet, but when gently coaxed, she nods when asked directly if Lucas had shown her his genitals. That nod seals his fate. Ole advises Greta to inform Clara's parents and report it to the authorities. Greta, feeling responsible, also tells the other staff not to cancel the upcoming parents' meeting. That evening, Agnes and her son attend the meeting, where Greta quietly fills her in on the accusation. Later, Greta announces to the other parents that there may be more victims. Meanwhile, Lucas gets a heartbreaking call from Marcus, who is crying. Marcus says Greta told his mother what happened, and now he's not allowed to see Lucas anymore. Lucas begs him not to believe it and promises to explain soon. Lucas wakes Agnes and confides that he's been accused of abuse. She laughs, thinking it's a bad joke. The next morning at the nursery, he's met with cold stares and judgmental looks from parents. Greta avoids him, but Lucas confronts her, demanding she leave Marcus out of it. She slips and admits Clara is the one accusing him. One parent yanks Lucas away, telling him to go. Desperate, Lucas goes to Theo and begs him to talk to Clara again. He insists she lied. Theo, torn between loyalty and fatherhood, says his daughter wouldn't lie. Lucas pleads, swearing on everything that he never touched her. With tears in his eyes, Theo admits he doesn't know what to believe. Agnes, seeing the chaos, tells Lucas to leave. As he turns, Theo grabs him by the throat and threatens to kill him if he hurt Clara. Just then, Clara runs out, smiling, and greets Lucas warmly. The scene is gut-wrenching, her innocence clashing with the adult suspicion. Lucas walks away broken. Later, Clara tells Agnes that Lucas never did anything and that she just said something silly. Agnes brushes it off, saying she must be scared and confused, insisting it did happen. At home, Lucas tries to call his ex, but she won't answer. Out of nowhere, Clara shows up at his house, asking if she can walk Fanny. She tells Lucas she heard people say he did something bad to her, looking frightened. Lucas gently tells her to go home. Nadia, who sees this, becomes worried. Soon after, Agnes confronts Lucas, asking directly if he touched her daughter. Offended and betrayed, Lucas throws her out. His son Marcus then shows up, saying his mother knows everything now. Lucas's friend Braun, who is also Marcus's godfather, pays a visit. He tells Lucas he believes in him and that he should speak to the police. But things are already spiraling. Now other children have come forward with similar claims. Braun insists Lucas would never do such a thing and offers his support. But the damage is done. At the supermarket, Marcus experiences the cruelty firsthand. A worker tells him and his father they're no longer welcome. Humiliated, Marcus quickly leaves. Not long after, he watches as his father is taken away by police right in front of him. The life Lucas once had, his job, his friendships, his reputation, crumbles in a matter of days, all because of one little girl's lie that spun out of control. Lucas tells Marcus to phone his mom and asks her to come pick him up. Marcus tries to go inside their house, only to find the door locked tight. Confused and upset, he walks over to Theo's home to see if Theo has a spare key. Theo doesn't, but he knows exactly why Marcus is out there. Everyone in town knows Lucas has been arrested. Feeling pity, Theo invites Marcus inside. Agnes, however, makes it clear she doesn't want Marcus suffering because of his dad's mistakes. Marcus can't keep his emotions bottled up anymore. He walks right up to Clara, his friend who started this entire nightmare, and demands to know why she lied about his father. Clara, caught off guard, shakes her head and denies it. Furious, Marcus spits in her face. Theo and his friends immediately react, throwing Marcus out of the house. One of the men even strikes him before pushing him out. As Marcus leaves, humiliated and hurt, Theo coldly tells him to go home. Marcus mutters curses at them under his breath as he walks away. With nowhere else to go, Marcus ends up at Brun's house, his godfather and one of Lucas's oldest friends. Brun welcomes him warmly, giving him shelter and comfort. Marcus asks desperately about his father's situation. Brun explains that the preliminary court hearing is set for tomorrow, and that's when the judge will decide if Lucas stays locked up or is allowed to go free. There's one piece of evidence that troubles them both. All the children who've spoken up describe the same setting: the basement, wallpaper, and couch. The problem is, Lucas doesn't even have a basement in his house. To Brun, this suggests the kids are parroting details they've heard from someone else, or maybe inventing it all together. Still, Brun warns, the world usually sides with children in these cases, and often for good reason. They just have to wait for the judge's call. The next morning, Brun gently wakes Marcus with good news: Lucas is being released. When Lucas finally walks through the door, Marcus sprints toward him, wrapping his arms tightly around his dad. It's a rare moment of relief in the middle of chaos. Later that day, Lucas takes Fanny, his loyal dog, for a walk, thinking quietly about how much he's lost and how fragile his life feels now. That night, while Marcus is busy cooking dinner, a rock suddenly crashes through their window, smacking Lucas right in the head. Blood trickles down his face. Lucas yells for Marcus to stay down, then rushes outside with a bat, ready to defend his home. But when he looks around, there's no one in sight, just a black garbage bag tossed on the ground. Slowly, he opens it. His heart shatters. Inside is the lifeless body of Fanny, the dog he's loved for more than a decade. The grief turns instantly into rage. Marcus grabs a steel pipe, ready to storm off and take revenge on whoever did it. But Lucas stops him, pulling him back inside. He knows Marcus might do something reckless. To keep him safe, he sends Marcus to stay with his mother for a while. The next morning, Brun finds Lucas standing in the pouring rain, burying Fanny's body with his own hands. Even simple daily tasks turn into humiliations. Lucas goes to the supermarket to buy meat, only for the butcher to refuse him service. When Lucas insists it's his right to buy food, the butcher punches him in the face. A group of staff members pile on, beating him, dragging him outside, and even hurling cans at him until he's bloody. But Lucas refuses to bow. Limping and battered, he storms back inside, manages to overpower the butcher, and forces his way to purchase the meat. On his way out, Theo's family spots him. Clara innocently asks why his dog isn't with him. Not knowing her lie indirectly led to Fanny's death. Theo looks like he wants to approach Lucas, but his wife holds him back, shaking her head. When Christmas Eve comes, the entire town gathers at church for the traditional holiday service and carols. Lucas makes a bold choice. He goes too. He knows staying home will only make him look guilty. If he wants people to see he has nothing to hide, he has to face them directly. Limping, with his head held high, Lucas walks down the aisle and sits among the congregation. Shock ripples across the crowd. As the children's choir prepares to sing, Lucas notices Theo whispering with Agnes. Rage and despair flood through him. He gets up, storms to the front, and hurls a Bible at Theo before punching him squarely in the face. Staring at his former friend with tears of fury, Lucas says, "I have nothing left." He tells Theo to stay away from him. The townspeople quickly intervene, pulling Lucas out of the church. Theo remains seated, but the look in his eyes shows deep regret. Later that night, Theo sits silently in the hallway at home, chain-smoking while Clara sleeps. In her dreams, she sees Lucas's dog. Theo sits beside her bed and finally breaks down in tears. When Clara wakes, she sees her father crying and hears him whisper that Lucas had been his best friend. Once again, Clara repeats the truth. Lucas never did anything. For the first time, Theo truly understands that he betrayed his friend. Quietly, he accepts it. The next day, Theo packs a basket with food and wine. Agnes tries to stop him, but Theo calmly says she has to let him go. That night, he visits Lucas, who's sleeping on the couch. Lucas is shocked to see him at the door. Theo hands him the basket, breaking the suffocating silence between them. Lucas tastes the food and admits it's good. When Lucas asks him to leave, Theo simply replies, "I'd like to stay a little longer." Time passes an entire year. The leaves fall golden across the town. Life seems almost normal again. Lucas and Nadia are together now, and at a gathering, people mostly greet them warmly, though some still avoid eye contact. Marcus, proud of earning his hunting license, is gifted a rifle by Brun, marking his step into adulthood. During the celebration, Lucas notices Clara lingering awkwardly by the doorway, too nervous to step onto the tiled floor. Without hesitation, he kneels, picks her up, and carries her over to her parents, showing he holds no grudge against the child. Later, Lucas joins Marcus on his first hunting trip. Excited, Marcus is eager to prove himself. They spot a deer on a hill, and Lucas carefully positions himself to take aim. Just as he's about to shoot, a loud gunshot explodes right beside his ear. The bullet slams into a tree trunk inches away from him. Startled, Lucas whirls around and sees only a dark silhouette in the distance, backlit by the sun. The figure reloads the rifle and raises it toward him. Lucas braces for death, but then, at the last second, the rifle lowers. Without a word, the shadowy figure turns and walks away, leaving Lucas frozen with a terrifying reminder that, even after everything, someone still believes he's guilty.